Russian President Vladimir Putin is one of the most powerful leaders in the world. He has ruled Russia for more than 20 years, through 4 terms as president and 2 terms as prime minister. He is also a former KGB officer, the National Security Agency of the former Soviet Union. Under Putin, Russia has restored its role on the international stage, but also faces criticism for human rights violations, election interference, and conflicts with neighbors and rivals. The following is some basic information about President Putin's biography. Born on October 7, 1952 in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, Soviet Russia, graduated from Leningrad University, majoring in law, in 1975. Joined the KGB in 1975. Worked in Germany from 1985 to 1990, left the KGB in 1991, entered politics in 1994. Worked for the mayor of St. Petersburg, Anatoly Sobchak. Moved to Moscow in 1996, worked for President Boris Yeltsin. Became director of the Federal Security Service FSB in 1998. Appointed Prime Minister of Russia by Yeltsin in 1999. Succeeded Yeltsin as President of Russia in 2000. Elected President of Russia for a 2nd term in 2004. But cannot run for a 3rd term according to the Constitution. Became Prime Minister of Russia in 2008 under President Dmitry Medvedev, who is considered an ally of Putin. Elected President of Russia for a 3rd term in 2012 after the Constitution was amended to extend the term from 4 years to 6 years. Elected President of Russia for the 4th term in 2018 with 76.7% of the votes. In 2020, the Russian Constitution was amended to allow Putin to run for 2 more presidential terms, which could last until 2036. KGB in Russia stands for the State Security Committee, the security and intelligence agency of the former Soviet Union. The KGB was founded in 1954 and dissolved in 1991. When the Soviet Union dissolved, the KGB had many functions, such as foreign intelligence, counterintelligence, investigative operations, protecting the Soviet border and leadership, and countering anti-Soviet activities. The current Ukrainian crisis originates from the political upheaval that occurred in early 2014, has lasted for 8 years, has not ended and is becoming increasingly complicated. This is not simply a conflict between separatist forces, with the support of Russia and the Ukrainian government in the East Donbass of this country, but also a conflict between major countries in Europe, Great Britain, Western Ocean, such as Russia, America, NATO, even related to countries in the Asia-Pacific region. Russian President Vladimir Putin's goal in launching the war in Ukraine is to protect Russia's interests and security, as well as that of indigenous communities in eastern Ukraine, which he sees as threatened by the regime, Kyiv and Western countries. Mr. Putin also wants to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO, which he sees as disturbing the balance of power in Europe and bringing the bloc's military infrastructure closer to Russia's borders, Kyiv and Western countries. Mr. Putin also wants to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO, which he sees as disturbing the balance of power in Europe and bringing the bloc's military infrastructure closer to Russia's borders. In addition, Mr. Putin also wants to affirm Russia's role in the international arena and show its determination and power against opponents such as the US and NATO. Currently, many analysts believe that it is possible that Russia will control the capital Kyiv and establish a pro-Russian government to run Ukraine. At the same time, peacekeeping forces of the Collective Security Treaty Organization CSTO led by Russia will be deployed throughout Ukraine to assist the new Ukrainian government. This will be the basis for Russia to establish a new alliance, including Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine, partially realizing its goal of becoming a world power as well as re-establishing the European security structure, which is dominated by the US and the West. However, some analysts believe that in order to realize that goal in the context of the balance of power and the world situation continuing to shift rapidly, complicatedly, and difficult to predict as it is today, it is not easy.